They told you anxiety was something to fix, a flaw, a weakness. But what if it's a hidden doorway? What if that weight on your chest is actually your soul preparing to awaken? In this video, you'll discover how what you feared the most might be the spark that ignites your true power. Because anxiety isn't just emotional static, it's a call from greatness waiting within you. And once you answer, nothing will ever be the same. There are moments when silence isn't peace, but a loud echo of the unknown, like standing at the edge of a vast inner ocean, uncertain whether to dive or retreat. This is where existential anxiety brews, not as fear, but as the awakening whisper that asks, "What is this life I'm truly living?" A sacred disquiet, one that pulls the soul inward, away from conformity and into the shimmering uncertainty of freedom. In this quiet tension, angst becomes the spiritual compass, pointing not toward comfort, but toward authenticity. Much like Soren Kierkegaard described, it's a dizziness not of fear, but of possibility, a trembling before the freedom to create, to become. This angst isn't a flaw of human existence, it's the divine gateway through which self-awareness is born. Can you feel it too? That silent invitation to look beyond the surface. To live is to choose, and to choose is to carry the sacred weight of responsibility. No longer lost in the masses, one begins to feel the urgency of personal growth, the fire of passion flickering beneath the mundane. And in that spark lies the potential for a leap of faith, a surrender into the unknown, where subjective truth outshines collective illusion. So tell me, when was the last time you listened to the ache within and asked it what it came to teach you? Have you ever felt that strange restlessness as night falls, as if your soul is about to whisper a truth you've long forgotten? We descend into the mystical depth of angst as a sacred philosophical flame. To most, anxiety is a shadow to escape from, but to the awakened soul, angst is the veil that separates illusion from revelation. It is not just discomfort, it is the tremble before truth, the cosmic invitation to become more than flesh and routine. Beneath this tension lies a question the soul cannot ignore. Am I living from truth or from habit? Unlike clinical fear, angst doesn't cry for safety, it urges transcendence. It isn't rooted in what has happened, but in the infinite possibilities that haven't yet taken form. It's the moment you realize you are not your past, nor your labels. This is the divine tension between potential and paralysis, where the deeper existential philosophy begins to unfold like stardust waking up in your bones. Kierkegaard's insight whispers through this spiritual storm. Angst is not your enemy, it's your mirror. It reflects not what you are, but what you might become if you dare. Through introspection, it reveals how much conformity has stolen from your essence. It opens space for personal growth, showing you that this angst is not punishment. It's a sacred summons to authenticity. What if this uncomfortable feeling you've been avoiding is actually your soul stretching its wings? We'll face the dazzling, terrifying power of freedom and the responsibility it brings. Have you ever felt lost, disconnected from who you really are? I created 3 transformative ebooks to help you reconnect with your true essence. Click on the link in the pinned comment and begin your transformation now. Imagine standing on a mountaintop, wind howling around you, with nothing ahead but sky. That's what true freedom feels like, exhilarating, infinite, and terrifying. Kierkegaard called it the dizziness of freedom, because with every open path comes the sacred burden of choosing, and each choice echoes through the cosmos, shaping not only our lives, but our souls. This is where responsibility reveals its deeper meaning. It's not about obeying outer expectations, it's about answering to the voice within. Real freedom isn't doing whatever we want, it's doing what aligns with who we truly are. And that means pausing, reflecting, asking, is this my truth or the world's noise I've mistaken as mine? To live spiritually free, we must surrender control not to chaos, but to consciousness. We begin choosing with intention rather than impulse, Every decision becomes a brushstroke in the masterpiece of our existence. Meditation, grounding practices, even journaling your morning thoughts. These are not just rituals, they're bridges toward greater self-awareness. They remind us that our freedom is sacred, and so is the responsibility to honor it. What if your next choice could shift your entire destiny? Up next, we'll uncover how to transmute this inner tension into passion and creative fire. Within the storm of uncertainty, a light begins to flicker. Passion, not the fleeting kind, but the sacred flame that burns from the soul's core. Kierkegaard believed this passion could transform angst into purpose. It's the wild heartbeat behind personal growth, the bridge between who you are and who you're destined to be. Here, subjective truth becomes a compass more reliable than any outer doctrine. It's not about finding the truth, but your truth, raw, alive, intimate. It doesn't shout, it whispers in the silence between breaths, in the longing that pulls you toward something deeper. When you follow that call through creativity, love, even quiet rebellion, you begin living authentically outside the cage of conformity. This is why spiritual practice matters. Try lighting a candle before bed, not for a deity, but for your inner fire. Ask it what it's trying to become. Try automatic writing or speak aloud your desires under the moon. These aren't mere acts, they're declarations of sovereignty. They're your leap of faith toward a life where passion leads and truth is felt, not forced. What if your greatest power lies not in facts, but in the fire of your own voice? We'll explore how this fire doesn't consume, but transforms, birthing growth through anxiety itself. What if anxiety wasn't a blockage, but a doorway? Like a seed trembling just before it breaks open into life, growth often hides behind discomfort. When we stop running from it and begin listening, anxiety transforms into a sacred teacher, one that invites evolution instead of avoidance. Kierkegaard saw anxiety not as an enemy, but as a companion to freedom. It appears in the exact moment we stand before choice, when we're about to shed the old skin and step into the unknown. That discomfort is the soul's labor pain, preparing for rebirth. Every pang is a nudge, asking, are you ready to become who you truly are? Spiritual growth can begin with something simple yet profound, like placing your hand over your heart during meditation and breathing through the tension. Ask your body what it's holding, journal your fears, and then rewrite them as visions of power. These acts, though small, become catalysts. Each step into the discomfort is a step into your authentic self. But tell me, what if growth isn't the final gift? What if the real liberation lies in breaking free from the system that taught you to fear it? Up next, we'll explore the Great Rebellion, escaping conformity to embrace soul-deep authenticity. There comes a moment in the journey of self-awareness when silence becomes unbearable, not because it's loud, but because it's honest. The masks we've worn begin to crack. The routines once disguised as comfort start to feel like chains. This is the call to escape conformity, to reclaim the path of authenticity, the only path where the soul can breathe. Soren Kierkegaard illuminated this truth. The greatest danger isn't chaos, but losing ourselves in the expectations of others. When we sacrifice authenticity to fit in, we trade passion for predictability and freedom for approval. Yet the spirit, ancient and untamed, was never meant to live in a box built by societal norms. It was meant to rise, to question, to burn with purpose. And only by defying the mold can one return to truth. Escaping conformity isn't about rebellion for its own sake. It's about devotion to what is real within. It begins with small acts of remembrance, speaking your truth, even if your voice trembles, choosing solitude when the crowd no longer reflects your essence, writing your own narrative with your own rhythm. In these choices lies liberation. In these choices, the soul remembers who it is and who it came here to become. So now I ask you, what are you going to do with your anxiety? Will you keep running from it or start listening to it? This week, take 10 minutes a day to sit in stillness and ask your anxiety what it came to show you. Write it down, feel it, honor it, and tell me in the comments what truth did you uncover. Your journey matters. Share it, inspire others, and let's grow together. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell, because the next step in your transformation is just beginning, and you won't want to miss it. You've seen how anxiety holds the key to your inner power, but what if that power could reshape your entire reality? In the next video, we'll explore how the universe tests you right before everything shifts and why most people miss the sign.